Hi, everybody. Oh, goodness. You know what they say? Three times is the charm, and we are definitely going to follow that today. Uh, so, yeah, just getting. I think that there was two meetings happening at the same time, and so we bumped each other off. So, yeah, three times is the charm, and here we are again. So, welcome. I apologize for all of that, but sometimes that's just what happens, right? Oh, Sheila from France. Wow, welcome. I just love seeing everybody from all the different places, all these beautiful, amazing women who want to empower themselves. It's so beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. And I'm just going to give a few moments for people to get connected. I know we won't have another bump off. I mean, we might, but I don't think so. uh, no, Leni, it wasn't you. It was Veronica. So I guess we both had something scheduled and somehow we were knocking each other off the call. So I think we got it figured out though. Hi, Amanda from Northern California. Great. So wonderful to have everybody here, all the women who want to empower themselves today. Um, so I just want to the first thing that we're just going to get to today is we need to find out who the winner was from yesterday. Yesterday, the Veronica and Yolanda talked about self-esteem, and the winner of the homework question is Debbie Hoover. And I don't know if you're here or not, Debbie Hoover, but Leni or Louise will reach out to you and you won a $50 Amazon gift card. So congratulations. So happy for you. Yeah, already getting empowered, aren't you, through the program. So be sure to stay throughout the entire program today. There will be a homework question at the end, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win a 3-month free subscription to our online platform, Soberful Life. So that's what today's prize is. If you answer the homework question and you get pulled. Um, okay, so what's the topic today? Today we're going to be talking about fear. Oh my gosh. So, uh, fear is it's a big thing in my life. Oh, Debbie, I see you raised your hand. You are here. Congratulations. It's so awesome. Yes, thank you for raising your hand and letting me know that you're here. So Louise or Leni will be in touch with you about the gift card. So yeah, thank you for participating and for being here for yourself. All right, so we're going to talk about fear today. And I want to tell you that fear was a big part of my drinking and was a big thing that I needed to learn how to overcome to support my recovery, and something that I work with a lot of clients on. And, it is the engine that drives abusive drinking. And in order to overcome our alcohol problem, we must develop ways to overcome fear. So, some of my most common early fears was that I wasn't going to have any fun if I got sober. And I didn't know if I was going to have to give up my friends. Um, and I really didn't even think I could get sober. And that was a big fear of mine. And was I going to have friends that were sober? And what was I going to do when I went to a wedding? And how was I going to dance again? And was I even going to be able to have sex? I mean, I had been drinking for a long time, and those were, for me, some of my most common fears. And then into recovery, as I stayed sober, one of the other biggest fears was to feel my feelings, right? what other people thought of me. And was I going to be successful? Was I going to fail? So I had all these fears. And one of them was, was I even going to like myself after I got sober? I mean, there was a lot of things that I had done in during my drinking that I wasn't very proud of. And I just, facing that stuff and wondering who I was going to be now that alcohol was not part of my life was really, really scary. So I don't know. You haven't missed much, Claudia. I don't know if you can recognize any of these fears for yourself. So, if any of those fears that I just spoke about resonate with you, or you even have some others, put them in the chat. Let me see what you've got. Let me see. What are your fears? So I talked about the fear of getting sober, the fear of what was I going to do for fun? Yeah, the fear of dating. Yes, yes, everything. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Yes, the feelings, finding like minded friends, missing out. Yes, FOMO, the fear of missing out, not having any friends. Yes, what if you can't get sober? Like the commitment to get sober. Yeah, rejection. Yeah, where will I belong? Yes. Yes, changing the relationship with your husband. Oh my goodness. Yes, so many good ones. So many good ones. I mean, really, as I listed my own fears early on, and I work with clients and have them list theirs, one of the things I think about is like, okay, is there anything that I'm not afraid of? and and that until I started unwrapping it, and because when I was first asked about my fears, I really thought I had none. I was like, I'm not afraid of anything. And then, there I was given examples, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely, there's that, and oh yeah, there's that, and yeah, marriage not holding up. Will I ever date again? Will I never sleep again? Oh my gosh, I know. The fear of identifying as sober and failing to maintain it. Sure, falling off the wagon, or yes, returning back to drinking. Yes, those are big fears. And I know that in itself, it sounds scary. But as I explained, I've been there. And one of the biggest, fears in my life was this fear that if you really knew me, you wouldn't like me. And so I didn't even know who I was, and I didn't know who I was going to become. And I just had all this worry about what that was going to look like. And I just, it's so funny because here's the thing: you're all writing all the fears, right? You're writing all the fears. You're all identifying with me. And I just want to tell you that we're not different. Like, fear is universal. Every single person has fear. No one talks about it. And it robs us of many of the things we want for ourselves. And I think that's a workbook question, that one right there, right? So if you have your workbook, your empowered women workbook, Soberful Women workbook, fear is universal. Every person has fear. No one talks about it, and it robs us of many of the things we want for ourselves. I have to tell you, when I first came into recovery, I was asked to write a list of things that I wanted from my sobriety. What do you want from your sobriety? What do you think it'll look like? And I have to tell you, I shortchanged myself. My life is so large. I mean, it's much larger than what I thought I was capable of doing when I first got sober. And that's an amazing thing. But that's kind of what fear does to us, right? Fear actually tells us, well, you can't go for that promotion. You're not going to get it. You're not good enough. You know, you can't, you're not good enough to date that really wonderful man or person. You're never going to have kids. I mean, it's just, it is, and it is, it really, really robs us of the things that we want for ourselves. And some of us walk around, with such a high alert system, that we don't even realize that it's kind of being carried around with us. It wasn't until I started shedding some of those fears that I started noticing that I felt lighter, and I felt lighter in this world, and I was able to get my bandwidth back, right? I was able to do more things as the fear started to go away. So if we, and it develops out of our need to be safe. So in my case, there was a lot of unsafe things happening in my early childhood. And so I kind of built up this system of vigilance, right? Looking for problems. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but looking for problems. And it was the ruler of all of my decisions. I wanted to play it safe. I wanted to be safe. It really became a very integral part of my everyday thinking. Um, and because my early childhood was kind of unsafe, I didn't know how to balance it out, right? I didn't know how to acknowledge that I was afraid, but also recognize that I could walk through that, right? That I could acknowledge that and walk through it, and it didn't have to, um, it isn't something that has to dictate my entire life. And, one of the things that I see with people who stop drinking and who don't do the deeper work, the work that Veronica really, really encourages us to do, and what we offer in this program, the deeper work. So if people stop drinking and don't do the deeper work, some of the things that I see is people become kind of like hermits. They hide out in their house. They have very limited experiences with other people. They just make their life really small, like as small as we made our life when we were in the late stages of alcohol abuse and drinking. I don't know about you, but my life got really, really small because of alcohol. And when I see people who stop drinking and don't do the deeper work and don't learn how to manage fear and how to work with it, because it's never going to go away. It's always there, right? It's going to always be there. But if we learn how to manage it and we learn how to embrace it, then it doesn't dictate our life, and we don't have to make our life really, really small in order to feel safe and okay. Yep. Yep. Wendy says my life shrunk into the bedroom at one point. Yes, absolutely. And oh, don't worry about being late. It's all good. So it develops from our need to be safe. It gets out of balance and can become the dominant guiding force in our lives. It literally was my ruler for so long, and keeping my life really small. And it was, I needed to anesthetize that fear. Like, that was the thing with alcohol, and the relationship with alcohol and fear is that when I was really afraid, the alcohol took the edge off. Who, I want to know right now, and put it in the chat, who had to drink before going to social events, especially social events that were where you didn't know very many people? Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. Yeah, and that's because of fear. Like, that's because of fear. Like, what will these people think of me? Am I gonna look stupid? I don't know these people. I'm afraid they're not gonna like me. Yeah, I mean, and we don't even know this stuff is operating, right? It is operating underneath everything, and it does drive our drinking. you know. And what about who drank after they ended a marriage, right, or ended a significant relationship, and the fear of being alone or never being loved, you know, took hold. You know, yeah, I mean, that is a huge one too. So in this program we teach you what we teach our other clients and what we've learned for ourselves and what we know as therapists, is how to have a relationship with this fear, to manage it in a way that you can um, that you can not drink over your fear. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you another question. What would you do, or who would you be without these fears? What would you do, or who would you be without these fears? Yes, free, a better me, stronger, happier. I could do anything, free. I'd be unstoppable. Yeah, limitless. Absolutely. You could do anything that you wanted to do. And if you're new to the group today on fear, you know, we're just putting these in the chat under panelists and attendees so everybody can see it. I would feel stronger and more free. Absolutely. Yeah, I would have more money. So the thing about fear is that it's either imagined or real. How it robs us of our energy and bandwidth, how like 90% of the fears that we have don't even happen. Oh, yeah, workbook answer. Fear is either imagined or real. And it really doesn't matter if it's real or imagined, right? Because it takes up that much space anyway. It really does. It doesn't even matter. We'll just get caught up in that loop. And, you know, oftentimes people say, well, I'm anxious or I worry. And I just want you to know that anxious and worry, I mean, that's fear, right? That's fear. That's what it causes us to do. Yeah. So, you know, for me, so one of the fears that I had was that I was going to get fired, right? I had this big fear that I was going to get fired. And if I got fired, I wasn't going to be able to, like, I wasn't going to be able to be okay. Like, I wasn't going to have enough money to support myself. I wasn't going to get another job. I was not going to be okay. And about 3 years ago, I got fired from a job, my first job ever in my life. Now, of course, some of my jobs I quit before they fired me, right, because of my drinking. But I was completely, you know, sober, and I got fired from this job, and you know, that had been a big fear of mine, and then it came true. And I remember thinking, with that fear, that I just wasn't going to be able to handle it if that happened. And the truth is that after I got fired from that job, I literally had another job within 7 hours. Losing that job. The job that I got was better than the other job. It allowed me so much more time to do a lot of things for myself, some self improvement, and some loving to increase you know, my loving habits for myself. It was really great. The self-care just went skyrocketed, and the job was just perfect, what I needed. And everything that happened, like if I had not gotten fired from that job, I would not be here today with you. Isn't that incredible? Like, so even when when, you know, our fears do come true, sometimes, you know, they're actually getting us to the place that we're meant to be. So I was totally able to handle it. It did totally freak me out, but now I have that experience, and I'm not afraid ever of, you know, getting fired from another job. I'm kind of my own boss now. Well, Veronica's kind of my boss a little bit, but I do work for myself, and hopefully I'll never fire me. So, okay. So what we really fear is that if any of these things happen, we will not be able to handle them. Will not be able to handle them. So I would like to hear from you. I know, right? Thank God I got fired. I know. It's really amazing, isn't it, Kathy? It really is. Because I'm getting ready to live the purpose of my life. And I mean, I have always lived within the purpose over the last, 12 years, but there were other things that I didn't think were available to me. And I told you in the beginning that someone asked me to write down what I thought my life would look like. Um, when I, what was I going to get out of sobriety? And I mean, I really, really limited myself in what I thought sobriety was going to do for me. And, walking through the fear and learning how to navigate fear has made my life expansive, really, really expansive. And I didn't know how big of how I didn't realize how much fear drove my life, like from where I was going to live to the type of jobs I was doing to my friendships to my relationships, my romantic relationships to my money. I just did not know how much fear kind of wove itself through my life and really impacted a lot of others, a lot of areas of my life. And when I started to learn how to navigate this and really teach other people how to navigate it, I would watch people just blossom, just like I did. I would watch them blossom too. So I'd like to know, who would like to blossom? Who would like to be free? Who would like to be free right now? Who would like to be free of fear? Yeah, Mandy, yes. Yes. Absolutely, Wendy. Yes, Kimberly. Yes. And you can. Like, I'm not, and although I think I'm special, I'm not any different than any of you. I am not any different than any of you. And same with Veronica and Yolanda and Mimi and Tiffany. Like, we're no different. And Leanie and Louise, we're all the same. Like, fear is universal. Like, fear is not just like um, set up for people with a drinking problem. Like, fear, everybody has fear. But yep, Chip too. Definitely Chip too. Don't worry, Kathy. Chip has lots of fear, but he's not working. He's not working within the Empowered Women program, so I didn't put him out there. But we will. We will definitely put him out there. Chip will tell you all about his fears. So we're no different. And the thing is that the only difference between where you're at right now and where we're at right now is that we learned how to navigate fear. We learned how to navigate fear. I love your comments, ladies. Really, really great. Yeah, Chip is awesome on the podcast, isn't he? He really comes from a place of just empowerment because of his story and just where he is today in his life. And, he really learned how to navigate fear. So in our program, right? So we are in the Empowered Soberful Women program that we are getting ready to start. We actually teach you how to navigate and how to manage and walk through your fear. That's what we do in that program. We teach you how to do that, as well as we help you with boundaries, how to say yes when you mean yes, and how to say no when you mean no, and how to um, live in your truth by letting other people know what you're available for and not available for, and keeping the good in and the bad out. We also work on creating balance in your life and meeting your own needs. Um, we help you learn how to deal with fear and resistance. And I know someone on the chat talked about the resistance, the unwillingness to commit to the journey of not drinking. And we actually in the Empowered Soberful Women program, we work with you and teach you how to navigate resistance, which is just really a part of fear, right? And the fear is, I'm not going to be able to get sober, or I'm not going to be happy if I'm sober, or I'm going to miss out if I'm sober, or once I get sober, I'm going to drink again, right? I mean, it's just all of that, right? And so we work with you on that. We also do, building self-esteem. Yolanda does a great workshop on that. Relationships with self and others. That was one of the workshops that I focused on, because sometimes we just really need a lot of help with having a relationship with ourselves and with other people. Um, Module 6 is shifting resentments, which is a really empowering thing to learn how to do. We cover food and recovery with Tiffany, and women's hormones with Mimi. And then, of course, empowering habits. What are the things that I'm going to pull together to empower myself on a daily basis going forward? Our programs are very skill based. They're designed so that you learn the skills that you need to become emotionally sober and live an expansive life. So we teach you the skills, and then we support you in the coaching calls where you can, where you're able to, where you're able to get the support that you need to practice the new skills that we have been teaching you. So the way that our program works is that you will receive a training video and a handout for each module explaining what it is, what you're going to learn, and then you will practice the new skill in the weekly coaching calls when we will help you refine those. So maybe we're teaching you about boundaries and you come to the coaching call and you're like, I really need to have a boundary with my mother, or I really need to have a boundary with, maybe your stepmother, or someone in your life you need to have a boundary with. Maybe it's your boss, right? And and you need a little help on how to navigate saying that and what it would look like, and then we would help you with that, and then you would come back after doing it and report back to us how it went. And so we will practice the new skill in the weekly coaching calls. We'll help you refine those skills as you move along. We'll remove the blocks and deal with any fear or challenges that come up. We have a coaching call every single week, all the way through November. So 5 months starting in June. So our early bird call is June 17th, and then the program starts on June 24th. So in addition to the weekly coaching calls, the taped workshops, you will also get a 5-month free membership to Soberful Life. And that is a private online room just for members of this program within Soberful Life. So you can ask questions, you can get support all the way through the program. We have some early bird bonuses. If you sign up before the 17th of June, then you'll get to come to a bonus standalone session where you're going to create a vision for your future with Veronica. So remember when, was Veronica on here? Yeah, it looked like she popped in there. So remember when I told you that I was asked to write a vision of what I wanted for my life when I was early on in sobriety. So I did that, and Veronica's going to do that with you in Veronica's going to do that with you. in the bonus session. And then the other bonus sessions is that if you pay in full, you'll get some extra bonus coaching calls to help you get through the holidays, especially with your family. So we made it really easy for you. The monthly payments are $899 for 6 months. And if you pay in person, there's also, if you pay full, there's some extra bonuses like I just described. So just to kind of wrap this up, because I want to make sure I get to the homework question before I let you go. So make sure you pay attention. Okay. So the reason that sobriety feels hard is because of your programming and lack of emotional sobriety skills. It is your responsibility to do the work to change this. If you don't do the work with me or with Veronica, and it's totally fine if you don't, you must still do the work. I mean, that's just the truth of it. You must still do the work. All right. So the question for today, drum roll, is, oh my gosh, where'd it go? I can't find it. Okay, what fears do you have about being sober? That question is going to be posted on our Facebook page. What fears do you have about being sober? Answer it on the Facebook page. And tomorrow we will announce the winner. Veronica will be here with you tomorrow doing resentment. So don't want to miss that call. She's, yeah, there she is. And so make sure you put what fears do you have about being sober? Yep. Thanks, Leanie. And Leanie also added the link for the Empowered Soberful Women program. So if you want to log on, you can do that. And the link is there in the chat room. Okay, Annie asked, is this the sober mindset one? No, Annie, it is not. All right, everybody, we are, so yes, the homework question will be in the Facebook page. Make sure you answer it. Attend tomorrow's on resentments. It's super powerful. I'm glad that you were all here with me today for fear. I'm glad that you showed up for yourself because you are an empowered, soberful woman. All right, see you soon. Bye.